I'm gonna tell you this, right? Money's the matter. Money's what makes everything go round. And it's a popularity contest in a sense. And you can't piss off the people that are above you because, like for instance, Arman Tsarukyan should be fighting for the belt right now, but instead he's not. And now they got an interim. I don't understand this interim belt because I remember years ago they said the UFC only has one belt. They have interim belts too in the BMF title. You know, I feel like I feel like they need to revamp maybe the ranking system. Maybe have an independent group of people do the truly independent group of people with the ranking system, and they should follow the ranking system because Arman Tsarukyan should be fighting for the belt right now, but for some reason he's angry some people in the higher ups, and they've been holding him down. But I'm not the one to speak. This is what I've heard and what I've seen. But Arman should be fighting Ilya Topuria. If he's going through some things, maybe he should be stripped of the belt. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he should be a champion in hiatus for something. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But like right now, I feel like combat sports, not just MMA, combat sports in America is hurting. I don't know what to blame it on, but it's just the red flags are going on right now. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay, last January, according to him, his back he couldn't go against Islam Makhachev, who wound up fighting Renato Moicano. He said his back, he had a back injury. The UFC seems to hint more that it was a weight issue, although they haven't been direct about it. So supposedly he entered, we'll call it a doghouse, because since then the division moved on. And, Islam moved up, Topuria moved up, so we have new champions and everything. Then when Oliveira fought Topuria, Tsarukyan was the backup. He weighed in and he made weight. So if he's in the doghouse, should that have been enough to get him out of the doghouse? Because if it wasn't, then he headlined against Dan Hooker and won and looked exciting on the heels of Islam Makhachev and Hamza Chimaev both being dominant, but many people also saying they were boring. Tsarukyan used the ground game, but had an exciting finish. What do you think, Mo? What do you think about this doghouse? How long is he going to be in it? I thought he would have been out by then because that's two events where he proved, that, hey, I may have messed up in January of 2025, but at the end of 2025, I'm ready to go.
I think this doghouse situation is petty. Every person, every man and woman will make a mistake. But I thought that in America, we're all about redemption. And I feel like Arman has redeemed himself twice. He made weight as a backup, and then he put on an entertaining performance versus Hooker. So what else needs to be done? I don't understand what they're doing. That's their company. I'm just an outsider. But I feel like he should be fighting for the belt right now. Paddy Pimblett is a great fighter. He's done his thing right now. He's a great winning his fights. Gaethje's a great fighter himself. But I'm not sure if any of those two can defeat Arman Tsarukyan. Arman to me is the top guy at that weight class, aside for Ilya Topuria.
Yeah. I wonder if that headbutt against Hooker at the weigh-in might have, or the post or pre-fight press conference might have pissed them off or something, because I really thought that was good enough, and apparently it's not because they went in another direction. But it's kind of bothered me because without them defining it, and the kid doesn't know it, then what do we do here? It's you're like you said, he's the number one contender. It just seems, and the UFC always brags about the best, fight the best. In this case, he's the best, and yet he's on the sidelines.
Look at the thing, right? Brown Sugar's gonna drop some knowledge. There's a fighter from the UK named Derek Chisora, Del Boy, and he told me, Mo, sometimes if I want to, generate buzz, I'll go out there and I'll do something crazy. I might get fined 5,000 pounds, but I'll make that up on the back end with ticket sales. So that headbutt, people are looking at Hooker versus Tsarukyan like it's gonna be but as soon as the headbutt landed, people were like, okay, what's gonna happen now? This might have put some little fire under Hooker, and Hooker might come out a little stronger. And you know what? Hooker came out, locked in a guillotine or two, and made Arman scramble. You know what I'm saying? Go to his back, and like my thing is like, it would be different if Hooker was like, I can't fight because the headbutt.
Right.
It didn't happen. what happened was people saw that, they shared the headbutt at the weigh-ins, and then people became more in tune and more intrigued about the fight, about that matchup.
Yeah. But remember, it could be that this guy just is his own worst enemy. Remember, he socked the fan as well when he was walking in. I don't know what the fan said to him or whatever. So I don't know. Like I say, if you're in the doghouse, I guess avoid certain things. But I feel like he's done enough. I think the fight went on, like you said, and he looked great. All right, let me ask you one other one. Close to you as well. American top team, Rinat Fakhretdinov. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. He got cut, man. He's 6-0-1 in the UFC. So it's not like, he's off a loss or he's on a cold streak or a losing streak or nothing like that. I've already read his Instagram. He seems to be taking it on the chin and moving on. But what do you think is going on here, in your opinion? Is it back to the whole wrestling? It doesn't put people in seats, or it doesn't get people hollering and cheering, or what do you think, man?
I think that it could be a little bit of everything. The wrestling, the relatability, as far as marketability too, because I think he's a great fighter and he's cool as hell. I like him, but maybe they had a hard time selling him to the public here in America or here overseas. That could be it. His style, granted, he came to fight, but he did implement a lot of grappling techniques. Aside for his last fight, he put them hands on that boy and stopped him, I believe. So he showed he had that dog in him, but maybe it was too little, too late. Thing, right? Like, we went to a point where we had a dynasty where John Jones, guys were holding the belts for a while. But now, with sports science and people studying film and we're in a fight IQ era now. I said that last year. It's all about fight IQ. And
explain. What does that mean?
Like, people are not, instead of worrying about being bigger, stronger, faster, they're being smarter. Implementing game plans, finding ways to win without taking much damage.
Who's an example of that?
Islam, Chimaev. Yeah, because here's the thing, right? I'm going to drop some BS on y'all. Chimaev hit the UFC with the grand okido. Going out there and saying, I can strike, I can do this, I'll strike. But the moment he faced a guy that was very insufficient with the grappling, he was like, you know what, guys? Let me go back to my roots. And he went out there and wrestled and grappled this guy for 24 minutes and 35 seconds. That was it. Just controlled him. And he used IQ because he knew this guy has nothing here for me. Let me beat him there. Same thing with Islam. Islam was like, this guy has nothing here for me. Let me handle this. Now look, Jack tried his best by getting Craig Jones involved, and it helped him. Fight IQ. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start seeing more guys utilize fight IQ. And I'm telling you, you're not going to see as many barn burners, per se. You're going to see more IQ. Now, you'll see more people getting beat up because the judge criteria, damage coming first. You're going to see more damage being implemented, but more in a more intelligent way.